This is probably the corniest joke of all, but if someone told you you're not too bright, well, there's pretty much nothing you can do about it. You'd probably be offended, but you can't really brighten up. But a photo, an image, if it's not bright, well, it doesn't get offended, number one. And you can actually brighten it up. See, some people, you wish there was a little brighten, wheel. That if they weren't too bright, you could turn the wheel up and they'd, oh, I get it. Yes, quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I understand how light works. See, we all wish we had one of those wheels. But in Photoshop, we have worked with the highlights and the shadows. Now we're going to work with the brightness. Alright, so I just went into View and Organize. And as soon as it loads, it's a simple dialog box. It only has 2 little adjustments on it. So we're going to take this photo here, which this was actually in the samples for elements. So we're going to pull it into the editor. And the nice thing is with a lot of these adjustments is they're not only advantageous to use in fixing a picture, but adding a specific effect to a picture. A surreal effect is easily added with this. For instance, this picture of the cars, it looks fairly good. But if you wanted to add a different effect to it, we can go to Enhance, Adjust Lighting, and Brightness and Contrast. And there it is right there. So we can put the figures in manually here. Keep the preview box checked. See, so whoever came up with this preview box thing, they weren't too bright, were they? You'd want it on all of them. Anyway, I'm just talking about that preview box too much. Anyway, so let's just start moving these adjustments up and down, show you what they do. Brightness is self-explanatory. Looks like there's a lot more daylight. Looks a little more washed out. We'll bring it back to the middle. Contrast takes the darks and makes them darker, takes the lights and makes them lighter. See? So if we increase the contrast all the way up, see, now that has a very surrealistic effect. You see that sometimes in magazines and such. So, kind of looks neat. Or you can bring the contrast down here. Looks darker, but if you bring the brightness up, looks very washed out. I don't know why you'd ever want that particular setting, but you can bring the brightness down and it looks, and if the contrast is down, it looks like a darker day. So if you wanted to give the illusion of nighttime, maybe bring the brightness down and lower the contrast just a little bit like that. And now it appears like this was taken at night. So there we have it. A couple different things you can do with that. So again, this is to taste, just like everything else. If you bring it way down, it looks very dark. But if we bring the brightness down and the contrast up, notice the effect that is produced. Very interesting. You're only seeing the very light shades of color, and that's it. So if you have a picture that's dark, this is going to be useful in lightening it up. Or if you want to take a picture that was taken in washed out sunlight and bring down the brightness, adjust the contrast, this is the place to do it. So another useful tool.